So welcome back to another episode of Bourbon Buddies. What are we up to today, buddy?
Buddy, it's official. Do you know it's official?
I do know it's official.
Guess what? We just got slammed with Christmas Challenge. Jay from Bourbon and the Baby challenged officially the Bourbon Buddies.
Officially.
And he did it in his last video, in his Christmas video. Check out that video, by the way. We're going to have a link.
Definitely put the link
Here?
over there.
Oh, it just popped up. Look at it.
Look at that.
It's magical.
Magic.
So the parameters are very simple. So Jay did a couple different things. He said that Santa got sick. The Christmas party needs somebody to step up and provide the whiskey. So guess what? The Bourbon Buddies are now in charge.
So Santa has put that responsibility on us.
Exactly. These are 5 whiskeys for a Christmas party. The first one has to be a mixer.
You have to have something there for those who do that to have something to do it with.
Precisely. Second, everyday kind of sipper that's appealing to kind of everybody.
And it's something that we would sip on all day. Say like we're hanging out Christmas, we have nowhere to go. Christmas is at our house. We're chilling, we're drinking whiskey all day, celebrating, just nipping a little bit, sipping and nipping.
Sipping and nipping and dipping. The third is for all those whiskey aficionados
Who might show up at the party.
Yeah.
Or like if me and you show up, this is what we're gonna like just kind of sneak out and pour for each other because we appreciate it. This is just for those who are into whiskey.
4, you have an after dinner whiskey.
So it's almost like a dessert whiskey.
Absolutely. You could have this after your main meal or have it after your dessert or during your dessert. Something that's gonna be...
Or just as dessert.
Or just as
that's
dessert.
how you roll.
The last one, the 5th one, whiskey that tastes like or reminds you of Christmas.
Christmas in a bottle.
Christmas in a bottle, whiskey edition.
This is a good challenge, and it's just a really good way to think about your whiskeys and start to explore your selections and how you would do it. So let's dive in.
Let the games begin. What mixer would you provide?
I am not someone who mixes whiskey. Neil has pointed out that I have a little bit of whiskey privilege. Like I typically don't buy entry-level mixing whiskey. What I came up with, just kind of what I've had and what I've heard people comment on, hey, that's pretty good for the money, and I know my dad really likes it, so that I would definitely want it there for him, even though he'll drink it probably on the rocks or something like that. Drum roll. Whoa, lost its head. Very old Barton. It's inexpensive, but people actually can't believe the flavor profile for the money. It's only an 80 proofer, so to me it's not something I'm gonna sip on. It's not something I'm even gonna entertain for drinking it neat, for spicing up and enlightening some cola or ginger ale or whatever it is you're into. That's perfect.
I guess I'll go then. Wild Turkey 101 for my mixer. First off is you can get it anywhere. Secondly, I really like Wild Turkey 101 for a mixer because it's got higher rye in it, which means it's going to be a little bit more spicy. You want it to kind of cut through in the drink. I've had Manhattans with this. I've had this in an old fashioned, and every time that I put this in there, I really dig it. It's got that spice that I think is really great when you do a mixer.
Now I know for some people that might be a little stout being at 101.
And that's where putting this in a mixer would then tame that down a little bit. Hey, put an ounce of this in a Coke, golden.
So what's the next criteria?
Everyday kind of sipper.
But now this is Christmas.
You got to have something that I think is a little bit higher quality than just like, a bargain bourbon.
It's Christmas and we're enjoying the day. We're not going anywhere. We're just riding the bourbon train for a little bit that day. Or whiskey train.
While we're providing that party, we're also sipping, which would land on the number 2.
And being Santa, it's a heavy responsibility.
All right, buddy. What do you got for number 2?
Okay, number
Everyday
2,
sip.
my all-day sipper for Christmas. Eagle Rare.
No, buddy, why'd you pick Eagle Rare?
It's just rounded. You really can't find it doing anything wrong. And if you're going to be at it all day, you just want that kind of like solid consistency, quality, perfect drinker. You can't get much better than that.
Eagle Rare all day.
What do you got, buddy?
I'm going with Four Roses, small batch. The bottle's kind of cool looking. Both of these bottles I think are cool looking, which would maybe intrigue somebody to kind of give it a shot. Guess what? We're humans and we're superficial. And if stuff looks cool, we're going to want to try it.
There's the marketing factor of the bottle, the label. So basically what I want to just throw out real quick is if you drink Eagle Rare, you are cool. You
immediately
are cool. But can't go wrong with the Four Roses.
It's got everything kind of you want in a bourbon. It's got your caramels. It's got this kind of raspberry thing I pick up, and it's 90 proof, same as the Eagle Rare, so it's not going to fatigue your palate. And you can sip this all day and not really worry about it. And you know how like you're sitting around at a Christmas party, don't want to like geek out on something, and you just want to sip a whiskey.
You don't want to be kind of like a jerk to those who aren't into it.
Yes, if you wanted to pick these apart, you could. There's some complexities here. But at the same time, like you said, this does nothing wrong, and this does nothing wrong as well. These are just solid bourbons that you can just hang around, talk to family and friends, and just chill and
not overthink it. Not overthink it.
No, not overthink it. Move on to number 3.
Number 3.
The Aficionado's whiskey, or somebody that's really digging whiskey, that's really into whiskey, and if they come over to your party, you can be like, yo, check this whiskey out real quick.
All right, we're going to sip on the good stuff here on the sly. Like, just come over here and, come upstairs real quick and just give them a little splash.
We're downstairs, buddy.
Well, we can go downstairs.
Yeah.
Sneak off into the basement.
We do not want to,
discriminate
with it. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. I'm gonna pull up my pick. The reason I picked this is because I just purchased it lately. I don't know if a lot of people know about it. And when I say a lot of people, I'm not talking about necessarily the people who are into whiskey. I think it might be overlooked. I'm going Baker's 7-year. This does so much right, and it just kind of steps it up. There's more complexities, there's more going on for people who are into bourbon. To me, this is a solid pick for around the holidays, because you're going to probably be burning through it. You're going to be giving to people. Maybe people have your everyday drinker, and then they're like, oh, what else do you got? I haven't seen a ton of people drink, not that you guys aren't drinking it.
Yeah.
To me, this is just does everything really well. Christmas spice and things going on, but yet sweet, yet rounded. Just a solid pick for people who are a little bit more in tune with the palate.
Whenever I see Baker's and I taste it, I always go into this jazz mode. Like I'm like, I feel jazz music popping out of this. It's like, oh!
I feel like a lot of people overlook it. I got some family who are into whiskey, and it's like maybe they haven't had it, but they'll at least, or if they have, they probably appreciate it. And it's not a crazy price point. I think it was like around $50. What do you got, buddy?
We're tending to go different distilleries at different times, which I love, and this is cool. Old Forester, 1920. What Old Forester did is they did different releases. They named the releases based off of really kind of pinnacle years in either the distillery's history or just bourbon history in general. 1920 is when the country went into prohibition. So prohibition meaning that alcohol was illegal in the country to sell, distribute, and also transport. You could still drink it if you got a prescription, or if you were just drinking whatever you had left over in your house. You could do that, right?
I just got the wisdom teeth out not long ago. I might need a little nip here.
They would have prescribed you whiskey back in the day if you would have got
them for that.
I've been hearing all kinds of great things about it, and just like people loving this. Cracked it open immediately.
Sent me a text message.
I did. I sent you a text message. It blew me away. It's just so complex. Everything's there. It's got this amazing chocolate thing kind of going on. It just has this depth, 115 proof, which is beautiful proof. Okay, it's not too high, not too low. I just love this bourbon, and I think that this, for a whiskey aficionado, they would look at this and go, holy moly. They could break down the tasting notes. They could be like, wow, this just keeps morphing and changing.
Moving
on to number 4.
When I'm thinking of after dinner, I'm thinking of dessert-ish, right? We know whiskey isn't going to be like a dessert wine, crazy, over the top sweet, or like an ice wine or anything like that.
Right.
From my experience as of late, one that I would pick for even people who aren't whiskey drinkers, to even have just a little nip, just try it out, maybe add something to dessert. The Tri-Connell 15-year aged in wine casks.
Madeira, huh?
This actual particular bottle, I brought home from Ireland. It is really, really something special for that kind of occasion. The honey notes and the maple and the softness of this is just like a real relaxing after dinner type whiskey. I mean, it is just a pleasure to drink. So smooth, so soft. It's something different, you know, being that it's an Irish whiskey and just how it's aging. To me, it was something very, very special. If you're gonna pick this up, it's around $100 a bottle. But if you're only drinking it for special occasions, dessert, and family, friends, you know, loved ones, that kind of thing, it's worth, you know, even if you pour it in like almost like, you know, just little pours for everybody, like in a Glencairn, or even like a little sherry glass for those who aren't really into it. To me, it was just phenomenal, blow you away type of dessert and kind of relaxing type of whiskey. I think you're gonna fall in love with it. My wife is not a whiskey drinker, and she really likes this whiskey.
That speaks volumes.
Yeah, it speaks volumes.
Since we're buddies, we think alike. So
You
since
have that tendency, buddy.
you picked Irish whiskey, I ended up picking. You want to guess?
No. Because if I guess and guess it right or guess it wrong, it's just weird. So, because then they'll say I knew, and then they'll say, oh, you guys aren't in tune. So, we're just going to let you present what you're feeling right now. This is your party, buddy.
This is my party?
I'm coming to your house.
It's our party.
Well, that's true. But I'm coming to your house in this situation. You are Santa.
So, what I'm pulling out, Redbreast, 12 year. After you've had dinner, dessert, whatever, you're very, I'm going to bring this word back up, you're just kind of like at a very relaxed point. You had a lot of carbs from Christmas dinner.
Oh, yeah.
You're just in the relaxing mode, but you don't want anything that's just going to be like too much, because you just literally loaded up with all these flavors. You just want something that's going to go back nice and easy, but that's decadent and also smooth. Irish whiskey to me is super buttery and smooth.
And to me, there's a delicacy. There's a delicacy that happens with Irish whiskey. To me, it's always a delicate thing that goes on. It's not that it doesn't have a lot of flavor, but it's not bold and gonna knock your socks off or knock you on your butt or anything like that. It just always seems to have that delicate, almost floral, almost thing that goes on with their whiskeys. That it's just a different style.
Yeah, I mean, especially with this single pot still, you got kind of like a blend of malted and unmalted barley, which they do in a copper pot still. Typically, after dinner, I feel like Redbreast just kind of just wipes your palate clean. It's just kind of relaxing, and it reminds me of like a Denny's breakfast pancake kind of thing going on, powdered sugar, but not the denseness of the pancake itself, just the essence.
When I got into whiskey, this was the first Irish whiskey I bought, and I really liked it.
Our number 5 category, a whiskey where it tastes of Christmas.
What we think of Christmas. So
right.
Like Christmas cookies or pie or whatever. Where I'm at with this is it's a whiskey that came to mind, but we don't actually have a bottle of it.
Sprinkle your
Christmas
spirit dust.
I'm gonna do some
sprinkle it. Keep
dust
sprinkling.
on there. Sprinkle.
Keep sprinkling. You ready? Bop, 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 bop. Boom. Right on there.
Glenfiddich 18. There is just, to me, like an apple note and a spicy note, and it just kind of reminds you of like a spiced cider, almost like you would drink warm, and an apple pie. And there's just like a complexity with the age. It's got kind of like the sweet, the spicy, you know, a little savory, a little delicate, with almost like with the barley and everything that's in. You get a little floral, you get a little this, you get a little that, and it just, to me, it just has all these flavors that makes you think of like an exciting Christmas morning.
My pick for Christmas that reminds me of Christmas, Willet Rye 4-year. It's delicious, and it reminds me of Christmas because you're getting some of that, the rye spiciness with the kind of the evergreen kind of pine needle kind of thing going on with a
Christmas wreath thing.
With a little dill sprig. I always get on this apple pie.
You're getting the tasting note of apple pie?
Yes, it's just like baked apple pie goodness. With all the spices, all the cinnamon and all that stuff in there. And it literally feels like I just have liquid apple pie in a glass.
See, that's interesting because some people pair like to like.
Yeah.
And others pair things that contrast
Yes.
to like spread the palate in a sense. I guess I would call it.
When I see this bottle, I hear, here comes Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus, break down Santa Claus Lane. That's what I think.
Okay, very nice.
We just jammed out a little
We
bit.
did.
Reminds me
Brings
of
back the old days.
Yeah, the old days.
To me, this is one of my top rides that I've had. Well, buddy, I think we did a pretty good job on all these selections. What?
But, what are you doing, buddy?
I'm just saying that we did a good job on this, buddy.
Sounds like you're ending our segment here.
We're not ending it yet.
Everybody,
more
does it
to
sound
come.
like he's ending his segment?
Probably.
You have to say something, buddy?
I have nothing to say.
Oh, you want me to say it?
I would like you to say it.
If you watch Jay's segment, his last pick was none other than a Santa pour.
So we're pouring this for ourselves. So we are Santa.
Or Santa. Let's say Santa's like, all right, you know what? I feel better. I can come to the house now. But it's like after hours. Everyone's
Right,
gone,
after
right?
hours,
You
yeah.
left the cookies out.
Cat
Hey.
drank the milk.
Yeah,
So
maybe.
now you're like,
And maybe Santa's lactose intolerant. So, and you're like, I don't want to leave him almond milk, right? Almond milk, I love it, but maybe Santa doesn't like almond milk.
that's a little lame for Santa. What he might be bringing you.
Yeah, he's been around for hundreds and hundreds of years. Like, why would you give him almond milk?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a very good point. I want to say, Santa,
Yeah.
digging what you're doing. I appreciate you. Elijah Craig, barrel proof for Santa. Because I respect Santa.
Santa deserves respect.
That's right. He is Father Christmas, right?
He is Saint Nick, Father
Uh-huh.
Christmas,
All
all
right.
that stuff. I'm just gonna go like this. You ready? Can you give me a countdown?
I can
From
give you
3.
3. 3, 2, 1. Bang! Boom. So I got a little bit more out of my bottle.
You do. You nipped it a little
I
bit
did
more.
nip it a little bit. I was just making sure it was good for Santa.
Quality.
All right.
Control.
If I didn't have this or couldn't get this, I would definitely give something barrel proof.
He needs barrel proof for that hard night
takeoff.
of work.
The takeoff. Like,
Yeah.
he needs that. Yeah, he needs the floater to get him up there. I'll give it him this.
He deserves an Elijah Craig barrel proof. Any expression. We both have the A119 right here, which all their expressions are delicious.
Yes, they are. You
So-
can't go wrong with it. And
Santy.
Santa won't leave you a lump of coal if you give him another
No.
expression. So maybe you got some old stock laying around. You know, that might up the
Yeah.
ante for you. You
Light
get
'em
some-
up.
Light them up. Yeah, get them lifted, get them leveled up.
Since we kind of are now Santa, right? Can we do a double pop in this?
Absolutely.
And then drink a little bit to,
I'm pulling up
to
my
end
sleeves
this
for this
segment?
one. All right, are we counting down?
We're going to count down. You ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1.
You jumped the gun on
I
me.
did. It was a syncopated one.
Here we go. For Santa.
For Santa.
For Christmas.
Oh, yeah, Santa.
And all things that are Christmas. Here's to Santa and to Christmas and to all of you for tuning in. Really appreciate it. We actually appreciate the challenge.
Jay, thank you so much.
Thank you. These were solid picks, though.
They were solid
Nothing
picks.
bad here.
Well, now, guess what, buddy? We have to challenge, too. And I know we didn't talk about this.
No, we did not.
I do have one pick. My first challenge would be to none other than Dusty Dan
I was
at
just
Dusty
thinking
Dan's
that.
Whiskey Reviews. It's official, Dusty. We just challenged you.
We just challenged you. Blow us away with
Yeah,
some
go.
crazy stuff. Maybe like pull back the curtain a little bit.
Oh,
Of
that
some
curtain.
of that stuff that you got.
Ooh, get that curtain pulled.
Slide dog you. So I'm thinking of our buddy over there at the old Mash and Drum to see what he's got going on.
Jason C.
Jason, you sly dog too.
He's-
We got a bunch of sly dogs
It's
out.
very sly. You're
Official.
picked. Get ready. Get started.
Get
Get
your
moving.
Get your act together.
Yeah, come on now.
Because this has to be done before Christmas. This can't come
Yeah.
out like the day after.
No, you can't have that malarkey.
Yes.
Well, guys, we got to enjoy this whiskey a little bit.
So good.
Oh, God.
It's good to be Santa from the Bourbon Buddies. Thank you guys tuning in. We're actually grateful for the challenge because it forced us to really think.
Yes.
And we're grateful everybody writing comments and give us your thoughts. Let us know what you think, what your picks would be. Maybe some things you think we could have picked better.
Yeah.
Set us straight from the Bourbon Buddies. Thank you. Cheers.